keeps on leaving and we keep on moving. When do we pass on our wisdom to the youth? My veteran story, lost arts discussions, fireside chats with a bourbon or two. It's time to hear the stories by our military veterans. Get yourself ready, it's the Lost Arts Podcast. The Lost Arts with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Lost Art Podcast. That podcast is giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we'll be having a My Veteran Story with Brad Dunlap. But before we get into the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? Then be sure to go to the Lost Art website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check it out, see what we got going on there. Click on that merchandise tab. Go get you something really cool, like a hat, like this one right here that I got on. It's pretty cool. But get you some kind of gear. Help support us and get our veteran voices out for all to hear. You can also check us out on YouTube at The Lost Art with Andrew Cox. So be sure to smash that like button, follow and subscribe. And if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast and tell your veteran story, then email me directly at thelostartwithandrewcox@gmail.com. And to all the listeners out there, thanks for tuning in. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the show. All right, we got Brad here. Brad, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. We finally got this working, and we're figuring it out. We might actually get through it and be all right. What do you think?
I'll believe it when I see it, but we're having fun already, right?
Yeah. Well, we're moving in the right direction, so what is this, second or third time? Third time's a charm, right?
Yeah, I hope so. But
yeah.
we're looking good so far. We're looking good.
Yeah, so far so good. No complaints here. So, Brad, let's go back to the beginning for you. Where did you grow up? And then kind of talk us through how you got into military service altogether.
Okay, let's see. I was born in and around Rochester, New York. And when I was about 12 years old, we moved from the projects. These are the housing projects that were built for the veterans when they're coming back. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
yeah.
We finally got to the point where we had six people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we finally got to the point where we could move to a little bedroom community outside of Rochester called Scottsville.
Okay.
It was just wonderful. Just definitely a wonderful place to grow up. And that's where I went to high school. And I only went to high school for 2 reasons. Daily. The reason I would go is I was dating the cutest girl in school.
Nice.
I was captain of the basketball team.
There you go. Yeah. 2 good reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, but the basketball theme will carry on. You've gone through this once before, so some of this is going to be repetitive for you.
That's okay. No problem. Yeah.
So I graduated from high school and wound up joining the military, and then I spent 4 years active, 6 years reserve, and went to nominality. Anyways, how did I get into the military? That's kind of a strange story.
All right.
I just made it through high school. I was not a good student.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for chorus, I would not have got a New York State Regents diploma. I needed 1 credit to graduate from high school, so I took typing. It's a 1 credit course, really easy. Went all the way through. Took the practice Regents a week before, got a 98, no problem. Went in for the real test, froze up, even put my envelope in upside down.
Oh, no.
So I failed. I thought the teacher was, I was the only male in the class. I thought she was going to cry because she's telling everybody how proud she is. She's got this kid. Anyways, well, I wasn't going to graduate from high school. Well, the staff did a little digging and found out that in New York State, you get 1/4 credit for chorus each year. And I spent 4 years in chorus. So that's how I graduated from high school.
Wow.
So
Chorus,
this becomes more interesting later. Anyway, I just made it into college because I had my readings diploma, but I really wanted to play basketball. And that was all I wanted to do. My goal, remember, I'm 17, 16 years old, don't know what's going on. My goal was, I had it all planned out. I was going to play varsity basketball in high school. Then I was going to go to MCC, Monroe Community College, because they had one of the greatest small school coaches in the country. Well respected and known, okay? And then for whatever reason, I had my heart set on Notre Dame. Once I 2 years at MCC, going to Notre Dame, and I'm going to play college ball. And if I ever got to 6-1, I told God, I'll make the NBA. So that's my plan. All right.
Yeah.
So while I'm going to college, I'm going days, and I'm working for my father's restaurant. He had a short order place, and I would work for him. Well, the whole family did kind of work for him. And
now, what year was this?
1960. I graduated in 64, so this would be in the fall of 64. Okay. And I went on the court. I'm just a walk-on. I wasn't recruited or anything, and I made the first 2 cuts. Only one to go. And I'm going to play college ball, right? So I go back to the restaurant after I got out of school. I said, Dad, guess what? I said, I'm going to make the team. I'm going to play college ball. And he looked at me. He says, you can't do that. I said, why? He says, I need you here. He says, it's just a family work. Dad, you're going to have to hire somebody because I'm playing ball. If I make this team, I'm playing ball. So he said, you know what I could do? I said, what? He says, I could make you join the service.
Uh-oh.
And I said, let me think about that. So I took the test and everything else. I had no idea of going in, but just to make it look good, I took the test. Okay.
Yeah.
So what the hell happened? What happened next? Yeah, this is where. So we had a hell of a fight. The only man and I now we love each other and we get along. We got along great. But this is he really needed me and I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I went down. I decided I'm definitely going to join the service. He's not going to let me play ball. I'm joining the service. I'll show him. So my first interview was with the Army because I was told you get to select your own career field, right? And I decided, well, since I'm going in, I don't want to get all dirty and stuff. So I'll be a spy.
Okay.
So I walk into the Army recruiter's office, and it's a captain, and he's sitting back, leaning back, and he's got his tuna gun button. He says, Mr. Dunlap, he says, what exactly are you interested in? I said, sir, I want to be a spy. Said, do you want to be a spy? He says, well, we'll check into that for you. But in the meantime, you got to get a haircut. Now, haircuts are going to be a theme through this whole thing, too.
Oh, no. Okay.
And I looked at him. I know nothing about the military, and he looks kind of sloppy to me. So I just said, "Aren't you supposed to button your jacket?" And I walked out.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna be a spy. Now
Yeah.
these guys must talk to each other. Like if you're an Air Force recruiter and you got a guy that's not quite right for you, or you can call the Army recruiter next door and say, I got a guy for you. They work together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know this at the time. So by the time I left that captain's office and went to the water fountain, I just bent over a drink of water. Air Force recruiter's there. He says, "You Dunlap?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "You want to be a spy, right?" "Yeah." He says, come talk to me. So we talk a few minutes. He says, "Well, Mr. Dunlap," he says, "I don't know what kind of spy you want to be, but how would you like to go to Syracuse University for Russian and become a Russian translator?" I said, "Whoa, 90 miles from?" "Yeah." He goes, and he gets better. He says, "Brad," he says, "there's no uniforms. You're going to school. You're actually going to school. All those credits are transferable." I go, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do this."
He
So,
sold you.
yeah, I'm going to be a spy. So I went back and told you, man, I'm going to be a spy, Dad. So, let's see, I don't know what month that was, but anyways, I enlisted and in the Air Force, and I go to Lackland for basic training. Okay, this would be April of '65. April of '65 is so. We went all through that stuff, and
How was basic training for you? Was it
oh,
easy? Was it
it was challenging because I mean I was in shape. You know what I mean? So the physical part in we don't Air Force don't need physical training like Paris Island.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little different, a little different.
Yeah, late years. So um, we graduated from basic, and everybody's getting their orders, and I don't get any orders. I'm thinking, wait a second, this is April, May, June, and July now. Well, that's okay because school doesn't start till September.
Yeah.
So they put me on casual status, and my job was to march the misfits back and forth from psych twice a day. Other than that,
Okay.
I had the whole day to myself. So August comes, I'm September, I get nothing. And then I get my orders to go home.
Huh.
So, I'm sent home to await orders. I'm getting paid the whole time.
Yeah.
So September goes by, October goes by. So I call my recruiter. I said, I'm supposed to be in Russia. I'm supposed to be taking Russian at Syracuse. What's going on? I know it all. Brad, just relax. It's all under control. Just go, keep getting paid. I said, okay, good with me. So in the meantime, I'm called back and they brought Dr. Tharp down from Yale University. That's where the Air Force Institute for Far Eastern Studies was held since the early 50s when they first started the program. So I take 3 days of Chinese training with about 25, 30 other guys. We're given a test, told to go back home and await orders.
Huh.
Then I call my recruiter. He says, "No, Brad, it's Yale, man. It's Yale." He said, "You don't have to take it." He says, you could still wait for next semester and you could take the Russian at Syracuse, but this is Yale." And I go, "How can I get into Yale? I failed algebra." "Okay, I'll go." And I said, "Okay, so when do we start school?" He says, "Just keep getting paid." I said, "Okay." I'm telling my dad, "I'm going to be a spy and I'm going to Yale." So let me see what month. Okay. January.
Okay.
I get my orders. You are hereby assigned to the Defense Language Institute, Monterey, California.
Yeah.
That's where all the other services sent their Chinese linguists. Now we're
Yeah.
talking reveille, we're talking uniforms, we're talking KP, and I'm pissed.
Yeah.
No Yale. So, but
So, it
I
sounds
my,
along a
go ahead.
little bit. Sounds like they strung you along a little bit on that.
Well, they were changing the program. I don't think anybody intentionally lied to me because here's
Oh,
the other thing. Like one of my best friends when I went to Monterey was Dave Ferris. I'll never forget him. He had taken Korean at Yale through the program, right? Well, they
okay.
didn't have an intermediate Korean program. So he re-upped for 4 years just to go back to Yale for basic Chinese.
Oh, wow.
Now he's back in the army. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, a great experience. Just great experience. I mean, Monterey, Big Sur, Carmen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd never seen anything like that.
And you were
So
taking, you said Chinese there?
yes,
Yeah.
that's what they moved the whole program from Yale to Monterey.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So anyway, it was great, and then we had a couple schools after that, and I finally get my orders um, to the Philippines.
Okay.
Unbelievable. I mean, the farthest way I'd ever been home was Toronto, 90 miles away.
Yeah.
And oh, geez, it just absolutely gorgeous. And the job was really interesting. Um, Nothing strenuous, just really interesting. It was basic. I was breaking Chinese-based code,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it was fun. It was interesting. Days flew, and so I'm sitting there in the office one day, and this questionnaire comes around. Would you accept an assignment to the 69 24th Security Squadron in Da Nang, Vietnam?
Okay.
There's 12 guys in my shop. The other 11 ran like hell.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, I said, you betcha.
Okay.
When
Very
do I
nice.
leave? I mean, yeah, this is interesting work, but I'm bored shitless. Too much sunshine. The women were too beautiful. The drinks were too cheap. You know what I mean? Let's
She was
do
too good.
something here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just to get me home on their dime, um, my command sent me to jungle training school in Texas.
Oh, okay.
There's only three trees in Texas, so so it really wasn't a jungle training school.
Yeah.
Um, uh, just fun and games, nothing to it at all. You know what I mean? That's the first time I learned how to break down the M16 because when I was in basic, we used the M1 Garand because all the weapons were going to Vietnam. So at least I got to fire the M16 and tear it down and put it back together.
Yeah.
Then they timed it beautifully. Um, they got me home, so I was home for Christmas,
Ooh.
New Year's. Actually, Christmas. Anyways, I can't remember when did I. Oh yeah, okay. So I was home for the holidays, and so I flew out on the 26th, I think. The old man, and
Of
I
Jan-
went out and got drunk that night, and just made the airport. Um, so, anyways, I'm on my way. Now, I've been out of the loop now because I've been on leave for so long, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of tapped in when I was in the Philippines. I didn't know that on the 23rd of January,
Mhm.
okay, I was still home. On the 23rd of January, the Pueblo incident happened. Do you remember the
Oh,
Pueblo incident?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My Navy counterparts, right?
Yep.
Now, there's one thing we learned, Andrew, very early is because we had a top secret crypto clearance, we were
Mhm.
not supposed to be captured.
Yeah.
That was just a foregone conclusion. All right. You
Right.
just accept it. And 99% of the guys, in this work never face a weapon. So, I mean, it's nothing you got to worry about. But
Yeah.
we knew that. So this boat off the coast of North Korea, well, no, it's in North Korea waters, gets caught. I can't tell you. That ship should have been scuttled and those men should have gone down. That was the deal.
Yeah.
What they recovered, and right now I'm not aware of any of this now. Okay, I'm still home. What's going on? What they recovered set, I would say, our Korean counterparts back 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Serious shit. And they wrote books about it and who's to blame and all that. Bottom line is the guys in the game weren't too happy with the Swabbies after that.
I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
So that was the 23rd. So I land on the 26th. I get to Da Nang on the 26th at night. And guy picks me up on the tarmac in a Jeep and he says, "Boy, you picked a hell of a time to get here." I say, "What's up?" He says, "All hell going to break loose in the next 10 days." I said, "Wait a second." He said, "Next 3 days." I said, "Wait a second. This is the truce. This is the truce for. He says, "Just keep your eyes open." So
Oh, man.
26, 26, 20, 26, 27th, 28th. I'm just clearing post. I don't even have my weapon yet. Um, Admin, finance, medical. And I finally get to meet my boss.
Mhm.
Now, this is basically a two-man shop, him and me. All right.
Okay.
So I reach out to she says, I said, "I'm Sergeant Kai, I'm Sergeant Dunlap." I reach out my hand. He wouldn't shake my hand. He says, "The first thing you're going to do is get a haircut." Bells are going off. Haven't I heard this story before? Now, wait a second. Wait a second, Andrew. Yeah, I just got off a leave, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm not looking like a beetle or anything. And this is a war zone. YouTube will block that out.
Oh, man.
I said, "I beg your pardon." He says, "Son, you're going to get a haircut." I said, "Wait, this is in my head. This is the first day.
Yeah.
Let's. You don't even know what you're supposed to be doing here yet.
Yeah.
So I go and get a haircut.
Okay.
I come back after lunch, and he looks at me. He says, "The major wants to see you." "Well, I'm moving up fast. Let's go." We walk in the major's office, and the major says, "Sergeant Dunlap," he said, "did you disobey a direct order?" I said, "I don't think so. I was told I should get a haircut." And the major says, "Did you?" And I took my hand, wiped the loose hair off my end of my hand, right?
Yeah.
I put it in front of the major. I says, "That ain't grass." So he looks, I mean, the major didn't know anything except what he was told, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, so he looks at Connors and he says, "What exactly are we trying to accomplish here?" He says, "Dismissed."
Oh,
So
man.
I had to work with this guy, but not much. We didn't have much interaction. But I'll tell you, down the road, I got to get this right. I got this stuff written down, but I didn't have time to. Let me get this right. And then, okay, I get this message, and I'm decoding it. And I said, "Oh my God, this is big." And what it was an SR-71 Blackbird had been shot down over Laos.
Okay.
Now, this is not good for a couple reasons. Number one, we shouldn't have been flying over Laos. You can go back to the 50 for an hour and all that shit. Number two, I've been working on it for maybe 20 minutes and I cannot find out whether the pilot is still alive. Number one, if he's been captured, number two, is he alive?
Right.
Well, this is called egram status. When a cryptolinguist translates a document like this and decides it's egram status, it has to be in the hands of one of the president's cabinet within 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And I'm Jesus Christ. I'm working my ass off. So I call my boss right away.
Yeah.
Tell him, we got an egram here, man. We got an egram. He comes flying out. I show him what I got done already. And I'm trying to find, is this guy alive or not? So anyways, about 15 minutes later, he says, "Are you done yet? I got 4 more pages. 8.5 living, teletype paper. I got 4 more pages of this." I said, "I'm going as fast as I can, God damn it." I said, "Why don't you review what I've done already, just to make sure?" So I'm going, not 10 minutes go by. He comes up and says, "You got to get that done now." I said, "You do it. You're a linguist. You do it. I'm out of here."
To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, don't forget the VA does have those resources. You can dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on that chat icon. Any of those options are going to be able to put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. Brad cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. All right. With that, Brad, one last time, thank you. I appreciate it. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated, change your socks.